probably the biggest difference between Tekken and Street Fighter. Tekken's very aggressive, action-focused, kind of non-stop sort of game. Whoever gets the first hit is going to keep wailing on the other guy for a while, provided they know what they're doing, and vice versa. Whereas Street Fighter is a lot more defensive. You spend a lot more time guessing what the other guy's going to do. If you do try for a big move and you screw up, you're probably going to end up losing because you just left yourself wide open. So they're very different games in that sense. So what we really needed to do to get them together in one game was, rather than kind of shoehorn Tekken characters into a Street Fighter game or shoehorn Street Fighter guys into a Tekken game, what we had to do and what we're continuing to do is kind of make a brand new kind of game, set up a new stage somewhere, so to speak, at a place separate from traditional Street Fighter and traditional Tekken. Basically Street Fighter has always had kind of a balance of characters that throw projectiles and characters that do not throw projectiles. They've always managed to play well together, so to speak, so we've managed to balance that. So because of that, we didn't feel the need to take an existing Tekken character and add moves to their repertoire that wouldn't make sense for them to have just to balance it out. King, for instance, wouldn't make sense to have him throwing fireballs or doing shoryukens and stuff, because that's not the kind of character King is. I think as a result, what you're going to see this time around is you'll probably see a lot more in-your-face kind of visceral, close-in fighting than you do in a lot of traditional Street Fighter type games. Obviously, as you say, there are some characters that really kind of suited the game pretty well from day one. Nina's a really good example. Some characters that still don't quite feel like they belong, and I think you're correct in pointing out that King, for the time being, King and Marduk both don't 100% feel right just yet. That comes from the fact that in Tekken, a lot of their moves are very specifically geared toward grabbing a certain limb, grabbing someone's left arm or right arm or their leg and flipping them or doing something. That's not something that really exists in the Street Fighter engine, not something that our Street Fighter characters can do or can react to properly. So right now, obviously we're still in the tuning stages. I think by the time we next meet at E3 or so, they're going to feel a lot better and a lot more natural, a lot more like they belong. We're definitely aware that there are certain characters, such as King, that are going to need a lot more work to wedge into this game than others. So I think if you look at Tekken and if you look at Street Fighter, traditionally there are certain elements of the gameplay that's always been kind of at the core or the most kind of fun part of the fighting engine. With Tekken, it's all about combos. It's about pulling off really flashy combos, the fun feeling that you get from executing it properly and watching your character beat the crap out of another one, in a series of moves. For Street Fighter, it's always been a little more about, once again, reading your opponent, guessing what they're going to do, aiming for that one moment when they're open, and then doing your combo, as opposed to starting a combo right out of the gate. So what we found is we wanted to kind of preserve the essence of both of these games. We wanted the fun of waiting for the right time to start a combo, and we wanted the fun that comes with executing a really long combo chain. And I think what we came up with is, what you referred to earlier, with the idea of kind of juggling a lot. So that way you get the best of both worlds. You get the idea of waiting for the right moment to shine from the Street Fighter side of things, and you get the the coolness factor of executing a really long combo and that satisfaction from the Tekken side. So Street Fighter Cross Tekken was announced at last year's Comic-Con. We have not shown you a lot since then. We're happy to say that it Captivate this year. We've got a new trailer to show you. Really excited about this. The countdown has begun. Look forward to hearing more and more about this game as we get through all the big events this year and get closer to release.